Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com bringing you my review of the Nike Lunar Force 1. Now as you can see, it comes in a red and white grid style box. I believe this is a special box that came with this colorway exclusively. I could be wrong, I've never had another pair of Lunar Force 1s, but I think that if you buy a standard colorway release that they have out now, they come with a standard Nike box. But nonetheless, you can see on the front it says Air Force 1 XXX. XXX stands for 30 of course, and this Lunar Force 1 came out as a 30-year anniversary tribute shoe to probably one of the most iconic shoes of all time, the Nike Air Force 1, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. So you can see that the name of the shoe is Nike Lunar Force 1 Digi, which is the camouflage type that is featured on the shoe. You guys will see it in just a second. The pair I have here is a 9.5 US. The official colorway is black, reflective silver, and dark gray. You can see that the suggested retail price is $175, which is a lot. And you can see the price that I ended up picking them up for. I had my eye on this shoe for a long time now. You can see the original release date was December 15th, 2012, so it's been out for a little while now. They're probably pretty difficult to come by, I would assume, but I kind of walked in on a pair for a ridiculous price, so I picked them up. I've been wanting to get a pair of Lunar Force 1s for a little while now. I really like the concept of the shoe. I think visually it doesn't change the whole Air Force 1 vibe too much, but at the same time it's different enough to where I can justify getting another pair. I really like the Lunarlon Cushioning from Nike, and it seems to be their latest thing to take some of their older classic shoes and incorporate their Lunarlon foam cushioning in the outsole and just make kind of a modern twist on a classic design, which is obviously what they've done here with the Air Force 1. Most notably, when you pick this shoe up, you'll immediately notice that it is pretty much a quarter of the weight of a standard pair of Air Force 1s. They're very, very light, and that's because you don't have that kind of really solid rubber sole that you're going to find on a regular Air Force 1. Instead, it's a nice light Lunarlon foam with kind of some segmented rubber on the bottom. It's not solid rubber either. So again, it shaves a lot of weight off of what would normally be a pretty bulky, heavy shoe in a standard pair of Nike Air Force 1s. So as far as what this colorway is all about, obviously it features a Digi Camo pattern on top. And I'm not sure what the significance is, if this has something to do with the anniversary or if this was just something that Nike came up with because it looks cool, and that's really the only reason why I bought it. I really like how it looks, and it is kind of a very different looking shoe. Now as far as the design itself goes, you can see that the upper is pretty much just like a standard Air Force 1. Obviously this one is a little bit different in that it features a nubuck with this kind of reflective Digi Camo over top, so it's a little bit unique in that respect. But for the most part, the upper has not really changed all that much from, like I said, a standard pair of Air Force 1s. And then moving on to the outsole, you can see that it has this kind of sparkly black finish to it, and again, it's a Lunarlon foam as opposed to being that hard rubber material. Then the outsole is kind of like a smoky black color. It's semi-translucent, and again, just accents well with the entire shoe. So you have your black nubuck base. All of this is 3M, which I'm going to show you in just a second. Your black laces here with the lace tips being this kind of pearl white color. I'm not sure if they were solid white or if they've yellowed or if that's just how they're supposed to look, but pretty nice to me anyways. You can see you have this 30XXX thing on the laces themselves right here at the end. I'm not sure what that is called, but nonetheless, it is there. You can see on the tongue it says Nike Air Lunar Force 1 as opposed to Air Force 1. And then you can see on the back, again, it says Nike Lunar Force 1. So it's kind of got a little bit of a unique logo right there. The liner is very, very nice. It's actually a leather material. Again, something that I believe was exclusive to this particular colorway. It's part of the reason why it was $175. The standard Lunar Force 1s are not that expensive. And then on the insole, you can see it says Air Force 1 XXX. That same grid pattern in red and white that you're going to find on the outside of the box. And then again, moving on to the bottom, it's got the exact same pattern you're going to find on a standard pair of Air Force 1s. So that's pretty much it as far as what the shoe looks like. Give me 1 second, I'm going to turn some lights off and you guys can get a better idea as to how cool this 3M is, because it's very, very reflective, more so than I was honestly expecting. And there you go, it's very, very bright, kind of a cool look in my opinion, definitely very different. And you can really see that sparkle in the outsole that I was talking about. Very, very cool shoe. And we'll move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes look. Alright, here's a look at the Lunar Force 1s on feet with a pair of shorts. Honestly, I don't think this is a pair of shoes that I would wear personally with shorts, but if that's your thing, by all means wear them. As far as the overall comfort and fit of the shoe goes, they fit very similarly to a standard pair of Air Force Ones, so they're going to be pretty much suitable for all foot types. Even if you have really wide feet, it's a very comfortable and generous fitting style of shoe. Obviously, you have that Lunarlon sole that feels really good as far as underfoot cushioning go. Not quite like their running shoes, but still very, very soft. And it's also significantly lighter than the standard pair of Air Force Ones would be, which again is one of the major noticeable difference when you have these shoes on feet. So that's pretty much it as far as what they look like with a pair of shorts. And move on next to what they look like with a pair of pants. Alright, here's a look at the Lunar Force Ones on feet with a pair of pants. And this is kind of an iconic design. They really didn't play around with the upper all that much, and it maintains the silhouette of a standard pair of Air Force Ones. Obviously, this colorway is a little bit more unique because of that highly reflective Digi Camo pattern on the upper. But as far as wearing these with pants goes, to me, this is just a really, really good looking shoe, especially in this design because it is a little bit flashy, but at the same time, it isn't overly flashy because at the end of the day, it is pretty much just black and gray. So that's pretty much it as far as how these shoes look on feet, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Nike Lunar Force One. Really big fan of this shoe. I think that the Lunar implementation of the Air Force One was really well done. They maintained the exact same silhouette. And for the most part, if you didn't know your shoes, you would assume that this is a typical pair of Air Force Ones. But of course, they're a little bit more lightweight and very, very comfortable. So for the most part, if this is your thing, then by all means check out the Lunar Force One. It's a very good shoe. The quality is great and I can highly recommend it. I will leave a link in the description to where you can actually purchase these, or you can just check out the review page on my website if you want to see the high quality images just to get a better idea as to how these actually do look in person. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if there are any other shoes out there you guys would like to see me bring in and to do a review of, be sure to leave those suggestions down below in the comments. I'm always open to hearing what you guys have to say, and it lets me kind of discover shoes that perhaps weren't on my radar. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for more videos on all the latest and greatest sneakers. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.